Just thought I'd do a quick revisit on this pond. We've seen it before. This is of course Paul's pond that he's had for 30 years now, 25, 30 years, running on one bottom drain. He's got 2 returns back through a profi drum and also a clarity unit. Since we last did a video here, he's took the pergola off. He did have a pergola on the pond, but that's gone. So he called me yesterday and just said, is there any chance on the way to work just that you can just help me do a scrape? So we've just done a scrape now. Paul's checking it, so I don't know whether there's anything on them, but the fish look fine. I think it's one of those things where the fish have got a little bit mucusy, which they do at this time of year when the temperatures start slowly coming up into spring, that kind of thing. So he's so we've just done a quick scrape on him. I don't think there's going to be much on him, or if anything really. I mean, he does keep the koi very well. They're always very healthy. The pond is heated via gas. So yeah, everything seems to be running okay. So yes, one bottom drain drum, 2 returns back out, and then another return outside of clarity, which is like a protein unit. What else was I going to say about the pond then? Yeah, it's 3,000 gallons. So like I say, he's had it a long time. So when we came to redo the pond, we couldn't fit anything else in the bay that he had. He had the old like a bay system with a vortex and stuff like that. So but anyway, let's go and have a look at the fishing pond. I might even show you the weeds as well. He does keep them very well. I mean, they're even growing on me a little bit, these weeds, but they do look good. And these are just some of them. Look at that. So in there he's got like the heating system. And the famous rock. I'll never forget going down bleeding darkest Wales looking for that. Watching Paul run around a quarry and took for about an hour until he shouted, "I found it, I found it." Idiot. So it really has stood the test of time, this pond. Water looks great. You see to the bottom, the fish are growing like mad. This was, I think the latest fish was that Shinshiro Sankey there, which is put on so much body now. I believe when it went in, I think she was nearly 80. So if you can just imagine that some of these fish are like 80 cm plus. The Genji shower. How big that's grown and still looks really well. The skin on that looks fantastic. Got the big Yamabuki. I think that's his oldest fish now. I think he's had that for 20 years. The rest are pretty much all newer fish from when Paul and I started quality Nishikigoi and we started doing the regular Japan trips and stuff, and then Paul kind of replaced his stock. But I don't think he's getting any more now. I think that's about it. So I think he's happy with the collection. I don't think he needs any more fish in here. He's got a smaller Shiratsuri, which is there, which is growing well. A bit slower than the rest, but it's still growing. But that's that Sankey. Look at it. Really nice 4-step Sankey. So couple of chairs outside. You having his wine? Just the one. See if we can get the filter tops off. There it is. So I believe it's the smallest of the profi drums, I think, but then it goes into a bio chamber which we have made into there. So you've just got it. It's basically just the 4-inch coming into the drum, 4-inch going out into the bio chamber, and then 2 returns going back into the pond. They're on 1.5 inch. But yeah, it's run fine. He's had to do a bit of work, but he still maintains the drum quite a lot. He still cleans it out, and he said he's still got to get a lot of the muck out. But yeah, it's easier for him. and like I said, we had no room in here to fit anything else, and we'd have had to start jackhammering the floor, which nobody likes doing. But yeah, it's run well. You can see the return line there. Black coffee. There was nothing on the scrape, so he's just worried about a little bit of mucus. So what we'll probably end up doing is just putting a potassium in or something like that at standard dose. That'll clear off any of the mucus. Might just be good for him this time of year as well, just coming out of the because he does cover the pond, so the covers have been off. Now, there's certainly a bit of a discussion at the minute about covers. Let me just turn it round. Covers seem to be a talked about topic this time of year. Are they good? Are they bad? Do they change it? And I think they do. And I mean, you know, Paul's fish have been great all over winter. They've been, I think he keeps them at 12 degrees all the way through with the covers on, the polycarb covers that are built on a frame. And then when you do take them off, things change. I mean, I've had customers ring me up recently and just say, you know, I've took my covers off. They're not right, you know. And I think again we go back to this ecosystem thing about these ponds changing again, you know. I mean, maybe you don't notice when you actually put the covers on. Maybe it doesn't, I don't really know, because you're not looking at them all the time. But certainly when you take the covers off, you see a little bit of a difference in the fish. You see a lot of a difference in the pond itself, and also that you see some ponds anyway, not this pond, not Paul's thankfully, but sometimes you see a lot of parasites coming now, whether that's that they had parasites going into winter or whether they've just got parasites coming out. Because Paul said to me this morning, he said there's been a lot of pigeons and stuff in the clarity on the return into the pond, and he says, so, you know, there's quite a lot of birds washing here and stuff like that, so no doubt that they're going to be putting parasites around. But if that's where they come from, you know, I gave up years ago trying to imagine where they come from. You know, it's always just been a guess, and anyway they just show up anyway, so what's the no point in even thinking about where they come from. You've just got to get rid of the ones that are there. So yeah, the covering is a little bit of a discussion at the moment. I'm not sure whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or, you know, because some people say it's fine, some people don't, but I don't know. But certainly since he took the covers off, and the Pagoda came off last year, but as soon as he took the covers off, the fish have got mucousy. Maybe they were mucousy and he's just not looked properly, but he does have a hatch to look at. But I don't know. I really don't know, guys. But the fish are happy, they're all feeding. So hopefully this is just a simple case of just a little bit of excess build-up on the mucus, which is perfectly fine at this time of year. Put potassium in, nail it, just at 1.5 grams a ton, nail it, and then they'll be fine. But he said they're all feeding well, and I'll put some food in a minute actually, and we'll have a look at it. But yeah, the pond's looking great, the garden's looking great, it's really maturing now as well, so it's nice to see. Believe it or not, it's only 2 miles from work, and this is probably the first time this year I've been down here, so. But anyway, let's have a look at the fish. Still getting rid of a little bit of sinking that he fed over the winter. Certainly nothing wrong with their appetite. Fish of this size, they enjoy a bit of sinking food. Don't have to bother coming up to the surface all the time, like munching around on the bottom. Terrazzo Kahaku there. Both them Kahaku are from Terrazzo. Genji Shiro. And that new Shiro there, that's from Oya. Got that on my last trip. And this is his new thing that he got, I think it was last year sometime. He's into all his aquascaping and plantscaping and whatever else you call it. So he's doing it really well now, really well. It's just a community tank, but he's done it. You don't do things by halves. Can't really see, can you? But that's his geeky thing. too much reflection, but so he's got his conservatory, so he can just have a look round, and then there's the pond out there. And then when it's nice, he sits outside. Now that, guys, is what a pond's all about. Right, that's Paul's revisit. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll just whack this in between the Japanese videos that I've got uploaded, so a bit of a bonus. But enjoy it, guys. I think Paul will. Paul is now this time of year. Always good this time of year now. Covers off. Fish feeding. Bliss. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next video. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.